I don't think Friedman is lying. He just put it under oath. He just filed an affidavit in the main case. He filed a letter in response to the motion to strike that was filed last night because, the motion to strike accused him of utilizing the court's docket for abuse and for media coverage and stuff like that. And so he wrote a letter back saying, that's not true, yada, 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 but says they're questioning the validity of what I said. And they pointed out multiple times in their motion that there was no evidence to back up my contention. So how about some evidence? And he signed an affidavit dated today under his own signature saying these things under oath. As I've said before, like with the Jed Wallace personal jurisdiction issue, an affidavit is different than the allegations in a complaint or even a document that has not been authenticated yet. An affidavit is sworn testimony. It might as well be in a deposition or sitting in a witness chair in front of a trial. This is facts. This is evidence. This is evidence. So what he says is that on Valentine's Day of this year, he got a call from somebody who is very closely linked to Taylor Swift. I don't know why my mind just automatically goes to her dad. This person had gotten to him through a mutual friend, gotten his phone number, left him a voicemail. He called them right back. He said they talked for an hour. And during this phone call, this person said that Gottlieb called up the Venable guy and said, hey, we'd really like a public statement from Taylor since Blake didn't get to go to the Super Bowl this year and everybody noticed. Remember the Super Bowl, which was on February 9th, so the timing matches up. We'd really like a statement of support from her. And if we don't get it, we may just have to release 10 years of personal text messages in this case. And this person then told Friedman that the Venable attorney said, you're trying to extort me, and hung up. And then followed up with a communication telling Gottlieb, how dare you try to extort me? So that is the basis upon which he made that allegation. And he has now said this under oath. He said he has talked to this person multiple times over the past couple of months. This was not a one-off. And he said, that's why I was looking for this document, because this person told me that the document was there. And I thought, maybe there was more than one. So that's why I asked for the information that way. He also says that this source told him that 4 or 5 months ago, he said on February 14th, that 4 or 5 months ago, Blake had told Taylor, just delete all of our text messages. Now that's interesting. And that could be better for Lively, because getting rid of evidence, the spoliation of evidence when litigation is coming, is bad. It's very bad. But trying to get rid of evidence when the case is actually ongoing and discovery requests have been sent, and rather than send the discovery, you ask for it to be deleted, that's extra bad. So if the timing matches up, it sounds like it might be bad and not extra bad. But we don't know who that person heard any of this from. The Freeman does say, I'm not going to disclose now who this person is that called me that I've been talking to, but if the court orders me to, I will. That is a very common strategy when, as a lawyer, you want to turn some information over, but the person who's giving it to you is like, I need you to look like you're fighting it because, if it ultimately comes out, I'll live with it. But I need you to only do it if you have to. So that seems to me like what Friedman is doing. Is like, if I have to turn over this name, if the judge makes me turn over this name, I will. But I'm not going to do it, unless it's absolutely necessary. So we don't know who it is. Is it Scott Swift? Is it Travis? Is it Justin Bieber? I don't know. So to go back to the original, yes, I'm wearing my t-shirt that says allegedly. Isn't that perfect? It seems like the original reason for the subpoena has now been validated. There is, an affidavit saying, I have a basis for why I sought this information. I reasonably believe that it exists because somebody told me, right? So that should pretty much solve the issue of, you know, is this subpoena a fishing expedition? It does not seem as if it is. It's interesting. We'll never know if this is what Friedman would have done in front of the DC court, right? Because they were going to have to eventually respond to the motion to quash and the intervention by Blake and Ryan over there on the motion to quash. They were eventually going to have to respond to that and say, like, here's what we're looking for and here's how it's related to our case. And I assume they were planning on doing that because they had to respond somehow. But because the Lively people filed this letter in front of Lyman in the main case saying, hey, this is going on over there, it all got filed here. So I'm not sure that was the right move, although we were on to the other case anyway. I don't know what will happen in response. If I were Gottlieb, I don't think I'd file an affidavit in response. I don't think I would want to get into a tit for tat evidence battle, because you're basically then just telling the judge, like, he's got evidence and I've got evidence, so I guess we're going to have a hearing, and I don't think they want that. But, you know, this is now not just something that Friedman put in a letter. He has said this under oath, under penalty of perjury. And regardless of what you may think of him, he could have his bar license revoked for lying in an affidavit. I just don't think he's doing that. Now, he doesn't use a lot of adjectives in the affidavit. He uses nouns and verbs, which is exactly what we tell people to do in affidavits. Don't characterize, just say what happened, and that's what he does. So I don't know how you respond to that. I don't know what the judge is going to do, if anything. Y'all, I don't know. This is uncharted territory, but I'm certainly going to try to keep watching it because this is fascinating.